Right then, hello everyone and welcome to Global Racing Network. We are here for round 9 at the Melbourne Street Circuit and we have got 14 people here in the lobby this evening in Tier 1. So it is a wet qualifying session. We will not know until the race whether it's dry or wet. As of yet, we've got a few people now running on their outlaps for now. So the first one out, I think it was the Alfa Romeo. I just one ahead of the Red Bull, which it's Tom. Yes, it is indeed Tom, because he's the only Red Bull on an outlap for the moment. And the championship leader is actually currently Tom, no Shay, which is his championship rival, which I don't think it is anymore. Shay has not been turning up to a few races ever since, which is a bit of a shame, really. So we'll see what happens from there on. But Tom, I think he's leading the championship by nearly 100 points. So we'll have a look at the championship standings. And nearly 100 points after Zandvoort. 92 points clear off second is Tom Gobroff off Wongfi. Shay, currently P4 in the championship, our reigning champion from season 4. And no one has started a lap yet, and Tom is going to start his lap on those intermediates. And no DRS due to the wet conditions, but it should dry up soon because it doesn't look like it's raining at the moment. I think it's just a little bit of spit, so I'm pretty sure it will dry up throughout the session, but we'll see as we go through. The Alfa Romeo of Beard has started his lap as well. Mac has also started his lap, but has invalidated already. That was pretty early from a Mac perspective. And Tom, he's obviously going to set that purple first sector because he's the first man who will come across the line, unless he invalidates, of course. But it's going to be quite crucial if he does get that lap in, as he now comes down the back straight where the DRS was going to be planned to be, but it got removed I think about 1 week before the actual Grand Prix in real life for 2022. But Tom has set another purple sector, which was the middle sector. And now Tom's just got this final sector. He's got a Ferrari in the way, which I think is Go Slow. Not too sure. It's either Go Slow or Spray and Pray. There's a Ferrari behind one another. So Tom is now going to come around the final corner. Is it going to be any good for his first lap? It's going to be a 26.875. Pretty decent lap there. Here comes the Alfa Romeo. Can he beat Tom Gobroff's time? No, pretty far off. It's a 27.340 for the Alfa Romeo. In the other Alfa Romeo, he's coming through the last sector. I think he might go for another. He's very far off the time of Tom Gobroff and his teammate as he comes around the final corner. This will be like 40, 41. It's 40.8. So not bad there. Spray and Pray then in the Ferrari. Seems to be struggling. I don't think he's on the lap at all. Go Slow, he's currently on a lap himself. He comes through the middle sector. It's a 50.2. That is definitely not purple because we saw Tom Gobroff's middle sector. He looks a bit slidey coming out of the chicane. Now, what is this last sector going to be? His overall time. It's going to be so crucial to gain so much time in that last sector, because then it always brings up your final lap time as it now comes around the penultimate corner. Now around the final corner onto the pit straight where the finish start straight is. And now what's it going to be? It's nowhere near Tom. It's 27.886 for the Ferrari. Jonathan Cox went 27.988 and went obviously 140.846. But no one's touching Tom's time at the minute. The closest is Alfa Romeo from Beard. Mac then, we'll see what he can set. Can he get any close to Tom? That is the main question as he now comes round the final corner. It needs to be a very decent exit there around the final corner. He gets a snap of oversteer. He will definitely not be touching Tom's time after that after that mistake, but it's P3 ahead of Ghostlow for 27.649. Chartman then, who's been talked about recently coming into Tier 1, he's a reserve, he's been getting a few good results. I mean, I'd say his results are better than Tier 2 at the moment. It's a 30.8 in the first sector from Chartman in the Alpine. He'd normally be in the Williams if it was in Tier 2, but tonight he's going to be in the Alpine. His Brown Prey set to a 2:07. That's obviously not his push lap. It's very hard to get it right in the first sector, but yeah, we'll see what he can do as he sets a 31.5 in the first sector. So it is better. George and Moman, they are now out onto the track. We'll have a look at Moman just real quick. He's only in the first sector, so we'll keep our eyes on this man Chartman, who's been getting driver of the day a few times here in Tier 1, I think. I haven't been keeping up to date too well, but Tom Go Prof clearly goes about 9/10 ahead of Beard. Between 9/10 and 1 second, there's a big gap, but Beard goes quicker. But what can Chartman do? P6 ahead of Wongfi. Not bad there from the Alpine. We'll see what Moman can do then. He's set a 50.2 in the middle sector coming through the chicane. And now on the exit, just didn't get a good exit. George is behind him as well. So George needs to slow down a little bit for Moman, because he's currently on his lap. He doesn't want to intervene at all, whether he's slow or not. But anyway, Moman is going to come around the last few corners. Around the penultimate corner comes the Haas. It needs to be a very good exit, or else he will not get the best out of his lap times. It's a bit shaky and fishtailed a little bit, but it is going to be a 29.060. Jack Panda, he's back all of a sudden. I didn't realise, but anyway, he is back. Welcome back, Panda. He reclaims his Aston Martin seat. George then, he's just started his lap as he's now coming through the first sector. Let's not keep an eye on him for now. We'll keep an eye on him in just a few moments' time. And then you've got Jonathan Cox and Tom Go Prof going into the pit lane. The double stacking doesn't matter anyway, it's qualifying. It's not going to mean too much to any of the drivers. Ghostlow back out on an out lap. Jack and Panda have started their laps, their first laps here of qualifying this evening. George then, he's coming through the back straight at the end of the middle sector. It's a 51.0, that is not touching distance to Tom. I don't think anyone's going to touch Tom in this qualifying session, unfortunately, but George anyway is going to come through the middle sector for the new improved right-hander. He's coming through the second right-hander. Very easy to spin on the exit. Very easy to spin at any corner in the wet, especially around this track. As you can see there, George getting all crossed up at the exit of the penultimate corner. But yeah, it's not going to be anywhere close to Tom. It's a 29.5. That puts him P11 behind Spray. Jack and Panda then, they're quite close to each other. Mac also quite close behind Jack. I think there might be a bit of slipstream. Actually no, because Jack is ahead of Mac. So Panda then is going to come around the final sector. This is very important now, because you need to get the best exit possible to the finish line. No DRS obviously, down the pit straight. We'll see what it is. Welcome back, Panda, and it's a 28.4, and Jack goes P4 ahead of Moman. So it's not looking close towards Tom and Beard, but them two are just raising the roof at the moment, the top two. There are 7/10 in between each other, but then you've got P2 to P3, 6/10, so it's not very close. Chartman actually got himself up into P4 ahead of Jack, and Ian goes up to P3, smashing that there from the Tier 2 driver in the Alfa Romeo Tier 1 this evening. And Waffler has not set a lap just yet. George seems to be struggling But we'll see what he can do as he rounds the final corner. Is it going to be an improvement? It needs to be a big improvement, and it's P4 for George. That's a very good lap there from the Mercedes man. And Beard has also gone for another lap then. Well, no, he's on an out lap, so he's going to go again. Spray, currently P13, not his expectation. Go Slow goes into P2, smashing lap there from the Ferrari, 26.5, that's the closest someone has been to Tom in this qualifying session. And we are 6 minutes 30 left on the clock, so the clock is ticking very fast in this qualifying session. Spray has messed up his lap once again. Oh no, it's just again saying that he's on a lap, but he's just on an out lap, I think, unless I read it wrong. But let's see what Jonathan Cox can do. It's a 36.5, so that's nowhere near an improvement. Sharpman is not going to improve. Go Slow's invalidated. Is Tom going to be brave and stay in the pits? I don't think so. Wongfi is headed back out. Spray and pray then. We'll ride on his onboard actually, as he takes us through turns 4 and 5, which is in the first sector. He's gotten a little bit wide. Surprised he didn't invalidate there. Very lucky boy. And surely he's got to invalidate. No, he's just keeping it on the limit for now. He's 5/10 up on his first sector. He might have gone for a dry setup. As you can see, the track is drying up pretty slowly. But Spray and pray. Oh, he's hit the wall. And is damage even on? That is the main question. But Spray and pray has messed up his lap big time. Jonathan Coxon is currently 2/10 up on his middle sector. And Beard goes quickest with a 1:26.1. So someone has finally beaten Tom in this qualifying session. Now Jonathan Cox needs to set a very good end sector. See where this puts him. This comes around the final corner. Needs some straight line speed, so he can get further up into that top 10. What's it going to be for Jonathan Cox? It's P2. So it's getting very close now. Tier 2 driver of Phil in the Alfa Romeo, setting P2 in Tier 1. Very good there from the Red Bull. I don't think he is Tier 2 anymore, but I don't know, I'm not keeping up to track too well. But the Williams of Wongfi has just started another lap. You can see a few people are struggling to get the laps in and set personal bests, set purples as well. Waffle has finally come out for a lap then, after a bit. Sharpman then, we'll see what he can do. Ride on his onboard, he's coming through turns 4 and 5. He needs a good end sector. Well, sorry, first sector. So it's 3/10 up as he comes through the slingshot onto the straight. Very easy to spin. And now the straight, you can get caught out with the traction on the entry to the straight. It's very easy to spin at times. Depends on what traction control you are using. But anyway, he's now coming through the chicane. He's gone purple in the middle sector according to F122 and Codemasters. But we'll see what the Alpine can do. Is he in touching distance here of P1? That is the main question. It's very close at the moment for P1. It's separated by at least a tenth between P1 and 2 now. It was a second 10 minutes ago. So, yeah, time does go fast pretty easily. He now comes through the final corner onto the pit straight. No DRS, of course. But what's it going to be? Is it going to be in touching distance? It's P6 for Chartman. Not a bad lap there from the Alpine. Tom has gone out for an out lap then. We'll see if anyone gets into the 25s here this evening. But Waffler then, he's set to 30.9 in the first sector. First bit of action from him this evening. And he's spun. Yeah, I don't think damage is on, you know. I think someone forgot to put on the damage. So, yeah, that's just a mistake. We all make mistakes. He's very lucky to be in the session still. So you're not expecting any DNFs unless someone retires in the pits. unless damage is reduced. I'm not sure. Wongfi then, as he comes through the final sector. All he needs now is just a good final sector and he'll be on for a good lap. But he's got to keep focused. And now he's going to come around the penultimate corner. The last two corners which are turns 14 and 15. Oh, yeah, okay, damage is officially on. Wongfi, he's going to have to stick with what he's got. P5 for now. Tom Prof has started his lap. We'll see how much he's up. No, he's down by 3.4 seconds. That's a shock to Tom. And Mac then, there's a train and a half at the moment just to get the laps in. And Jonathan Cox has gone a little bit wide. I think it's Mercedes. Yeah, George is on an out lap. I don't know why he's letting through, but Beard is retired. Anyway, Tom will have to go again. So we'll see who else is improving. Can't really find anyone else, to be honest. Panda then, we'll see what he can do. He's not even improving either, so pretty shocking laps at the moment, but people have just got to go once more. Waffler, his session has ended. It's goodbye to him. And Mac, strong lap there, 125.7. You can see how the track evolution changes are helping people at the moment. And Jonathan Cox can't improve. Tom, he can't improve. He's going to wait till the line. He's going to have to stick with what he's got. P4 for now for Tom Prof. That is an absolute shock there from the championship leader. Spray Pray, he goes P6, very nice lap. And Sharpman, he goes P2. What a lap from the Alpine. The tier 2 driver set himself a P2 lap. Can Mac do anything more? He's currently 2/10 up in that first sector. Can anyone change the style of this? Jonathan Cox, he can't do anything. He's invalidated, I think, anyway. He's 2/10 up. GRL Mac, 2/10 up in that middle sector. This final sector needs to be pinpoint accuracy. He's the only one. Well, there's only two drivers in the 25s at the moment, and that's Chartman and Mac, a tier 2 driver on the front row as it stands. Moment, he can only finish P9. Mac then, what can he do? Is it an improvement as he comes round the final corner? He's gone again, get a snap of oversteer. Is it P1 for Mac? Is he improved? Yes, he has. Very nice lap there from Mac by 2/10. George, he goes up into P2. He stole the front row off Chartman, but now that's it. Oh no, Go Slow. He's gone up into P2, and that is the end of qualifying. Go Slow steals the front row off George, but your pole sitter is GRL Mac in the McLaren, and Go Slow just 800ths down on the McLaren of Mac, but we've got a different pole sitter here this evening. Our championship leader currently in P9, which is Tom Prof. Very much a shock there. Chartman on the second row, so unfortunate for him. He could be at least on the front row for now, but Waffler, the only one not setting a time. Mac P1, Go Slow P2, and George P3. What a qualifying that was. Chartman on the second row. Marshall, he set to P5. Beard, we all thought he was going to get pole for a second, but that was game over for him. But anyway, we are moving on to the race here in Melbourne. Interesting qualifying, to say the least. Let's hope it's going to be an interesting race for Tier 1. Hopefully doing the out for proud in 5th. Well, you are indeed. But anyway, the loading has been complete, and it is a dry race, so you've got to hope now that your favourite driver has put on a dry setup. So it's all on them, really, all on them. I think there's a bit of a glitch at the moment. Hold on. We've got the start time up now. But we'll see what happens from there on. 10 seconds to go until we start. I think it's going to be the formation lap, as usual in GRL, both tiers. Anyway, hold on. Right then, is it the formation lap that is the main question? Yes, it is. We've got an extra lap here for drivers to warm their tyres up. There's still the formation glitch, formation lap glitch going on, which is such a shame after we've experienced around about 7 months of this game now, 7-8 months, and they can't fix the formation lap issue. So yeah, that's for EA to work on, and Cody's. But anyway, your pole sitter is GRL Mac in the McLaren. He struggled toward the start of the season from Hungary in round 1. And the predicted pit stop strategy is the medium hards and the 2-stop. If anyone's that stupid to go on softs, it would be a 2-stop of soft, medium, medium. Wongfi's gone on the softs, so I've just called him stupid there. So, I mean, if he's going for an aggressive 2-stop or he's going for a soft hard, I won't be surprised if he is going for a soft hard, but yeah, the stupid way is the 2-stop of the soft, medium, medium, which is the aggressive way of going round of things. Yeah, Panda P7, Jonathan Cox points, Brian Prey P10, Wongfi P11, Moment P12, Jack 13th, and Waffler without a time in 14th, as now the drivers are coming around the final sector to get ready to line up on their grid slots. And we're going to start lap 1 when the drivers have parked all of their cars. Waffler was the one without a time in qualifying earlier on. Mac, first time on pole, as they're now going to line up on the grid. Right then, the lights are now just ready to go out as we head to 5 red lights. It's lights out and away we go, pedal to the metal here in GRL Tier 1, and George got off to a fantastic start there. There was an Alfa Romeo fish tank a little bit, but George up into P1 with an amazing start there. Go Slow has made up a position back on Mac. George with an absolute fantastic start there. Goslow's going to try and send one on the inside here of George. And, yeah, George gets a snap of oversteer there. Through goes Mac. And, yeah, very good start there. Mac just backs out of the thought. And there is your top three. Chartman not making up any places. He's stayed in the same position. Jonathan Cox has made up around about 3 positions. Tom has made up 2 positions. And, yeah, Marshall has made up a few himself. And that is a virtual safety car after Waffler. I think he went on a spin. But, yeah, very good start there. Very clean. We've got all the drivers in this one. Go Slow with a fantastic start. That was unbelievable. Very clean. And Mac, the pole sitter, now down into P3. He didn't really get off to a good start there. George got off to a fantastic start. But yeah, he's now back down into P2. We're just waiting for this virtual safety car to end and go green racing. We have not had one singular racing lap yet. It's just safety car laps at the moment. Hopefully we do get a racing lap. It's more than likely that we will. I think the signal of green racing is going back up in just a few moments time. I think they are being told now, the drivers, that they can go racing. No, I don't think the signal's come up yet. But the drivers are going pretty quick at the moment. And Gosto just trying to get away from the pack. And we're going green once again. Now Mac is going to go on the inside. He's got a fantastic move done there on George. Very good move there. And George just had to back out of it because he would have been caught up in an accident there with the McLaren. A very good restart there from Goslow, who's just running away with it at the moment. Now Mac regains a position up into P2. George loses a position from Mac. Chartman also trying to get involved. Jonathan Cox now is going to try and look at a move on Chartman, which didn't work. So, and there's a battle between Tomgo Prof and Wongfi. Tomgo Prof has to ride the curb, but he still gets the move done. I think he lost the place off Wongfi there, who's currently on the medium, no, the soft, sorry. And there's a spinner of Moman. He's gone onto the grass with a beard. And Goso obviously gets the fastest lap because we've done finally one racing lap, spray and pray. Now gets the fastest lap for a 24.4. DRS also enabled as well, so the drivers will get a fair share of trying to overtake one another. A Beard who done well in qualifying actually. He's got a box onto a set of hards. That's pretty early actually. No front wing change from the Alfa Romeo, unless yeah, he probably does have a bit of damage on his car, but yeah, not good that he's had to come out on a set of fresh hards already. He would have lost a bit of time as well. But the top 3, it's very fun at the moment. Tom is struggling just to get the pack. Tom's next target, well, Jonathan Cox and Chartman going at it. Very good battle. Jonathan Cox gets ahead of Chartman, but now Marshall trying to get into the mix himself, but Chartman does indeed have the DRS, and Marshall just cannot complete a move in time there. And yeah, Tom now looking on the inside of Ian himself. So the Alfa Romeo doing very well at the moment, just to try and gain a few positions back. And you can see Chartman's just went a little bit wide on the exit of the penultimate corner, but now Ian will have a chance. No, he won't, because Chartman also has the DRS himself. Tom also has the DRS. Tom is trying to go side by side here with Ian. You can see he's using his battery, and Ian just backs out. He doesn't want to get caught up. But Wongfi with a fantastic dive there on his soft compound. Spray also trying to get involved as well. Ian's losing a lot of positions to all of these tier 1 drivers, these tier 1 main drivers. But there is Tom up into P6 now. He's made Ian lose a few positions to Wongfi as well. Jonathan Cox has lost 2 seconds to George then after battling with Chartman. Spray and Pray now going side by side here with Ian, and Spray and Pray just gets ahead. I think Ian is backing out of all of these tier 1 battles for now. He doesn't want to get involved, but now Panda, he's going to want to get involved on the Alfa Romeo. Everyone's just closing up to one another now, which is starting to get a bit interesting, because Wong Fei is now on the tail of Tom, the championship leader. P2 in the championship versus P1 in the championship, fighting for P6, and Mac has taken the lead. I think something's happened to Ghost though, because you can see now George is on his rear. We didn't catch that, but Ghost just keeps P2 for now. And yeah, he's going to have to settle with what he's got for now, and Mac is going to carry on with that DRS in P1, and Tom Go Prof is going wheel to wheel here with Chartman. Is Wong Fei going to try and get involved? Waffler, oh, Chartman's gone deep, he's onto the grass. Oh, he's touched the rear end of Wong Fei, but yeah, that's all dreams do come to an end. All good things do come to an end. At some point, Panda out inside the top 9, so this is getting pretty much interesting. Throughout the whole group, we've got no DNFs as of yet. It's Waffler and Beard at the back, 36 and 11 seconds behind. So we're only 5 laps in, anything can still happen. We've still got a very long way to go here in this one. We're only on the 5th lap, so pretty much more can happen as we go on. Spray and Pray now just coming down the straight to get some DRS, and he went a little bit wide. He's had to slam on the brakes pretty harder than usual. Ian trying to look on the inside, but he backs out of that thought, and yeah, just stays at position for now. George then, he's on the rear of Ghostlow once again. Mac losing some time now to Ghostlow. This is an interesting fight then. So 2 people who are not even in this championship fight. Will we have a different winner this season? It's either Ghostlow or Mac. Mac has not won a race this season. I'm not too sure about Ghostlow, but Tom, they're playing a team game here, Red Bull, and Tom gets ahead of Jonathan Cox. So yeah, there is a massive team game at the moment, but Tom has a lot of work to do. 2.7 seconds behind a fast George at the moment. So yeah, you can see Mac now, our pole sitter from qualifying, is now losing some time to the Ferrari behind. The top 3, they're very close to each other. They're sticking within the DRS. Now Wong Fei on the softs trying to chase Jonathan Cox. I don't think that's going to be the plan for the moment. Jonathan is actually on a set of hards to start this one, which is interesting. Now Ghostlow is still trying to chase that McLaren. We get a nice little helicopter view there as well. So yeah, Ghostlow then, he's going to try and settle a move here for P1. We're going to get a P1 battle. Not quite, not just yet. Obviously, people still have to do their strategies. We've had a few battles between the top 3, and Tom is still catching up, and Marshall is going to get ahead here of Spray and Pray. Nice move there from the tier 2 driver, and Spray and Pray has gone for a spin. He still kept the car going without hitting a wall, so he's very lucky to still be in the top 10. But he needs to warm those cold tyres up, because it's just going to make them degrade a little bit more. Anyway, Chartman has boxed for a fresh set of mediums on lap 7, so I think he's going to go for a 2-stop then. He'll end on the softs preferably, which is predicted for now. But the bottom 3 are so far behind, and there is your full-course safety car already. Waffler has a good chance now to box, same with Beard. Although Beard has no, I thought he already had boxed, but yeah, good timing for Chartman, because he boxed onto a fresh set of mediums. So that's interesting. That's a fairly interesting call there from the Alpine. So it's really come at the right time. And now it's going to make the pack come closer. It's going to make a 4-way fight now, because Tom is your championship leader and is the fastest guy on the... I wouldn't say fastest guy on the track, but preferably the fastest in the division or tier, whatever you like to call it. But no double stacks here at Red Bull, I'm pretty sure. Jonathan Cox will now be your new race leader here in Melbourne. Jack has decided to carry on. He thinks it's a bit too early to box, as he's going to be ahead of Ghostlope, but behind Max. So this is the team game now for McLaren, because Jack is now P3, Mac is P2, so this could be a very good race win for Mac. Jack has just got to do the hard work and defend Ghostlope and George, and even Tom possibly. Tom is on those hards, so he's got a lot of warming up to do between now and the end of the race, and he's got to carry those tyres to the end. So yeah, a lot of boxers in this one, and we've got to wait for Waffler and Beard to catch up, so they'll be catching up as soon as possible. Chartman has made the right call now, because he's back up into P11 ahead of Moman. But your new race leader is now Jonathan Cox in the Red Bull, so I'm pretty sure Jonathan Cox will try and hold up Mac, so Tom can get through George, Ghostlope, Jack, and then even Mac himself. So that'll be a very hard chase though for Tom. Jonathan will have to do very good defending, so we just got to wait for the bottom two, which is Waffler and Beard, to catch up, which are 13th and 14th. And the full course safety car is out, and we've got to wait till now the bottom two catch up, which could be about lap 9-10. They can go full speed ahead, while the others have to go at least by 60 mile an hour. So between 40 and 60 mile an hour. So that's your first 8 laps done with, and yeah, pretty decent start. And we will have 20 laps to go. Well, I can see why McLaren have done this. They don't want a double stack, and there's going to be a defensive tactic here for Jack. He's not been too well in this in qualifying. He's been a bit slow in the race so far, but he's on a set of hards anyway, so that bumped him up a few positions. That's the only good side of starting on the hards. You get yourself a few positions higher, but then again you have to box still onto a different compound. You have to box anyway. You can't take the same tyres to the end of the Grand Prix. So yeah. 20 seconds is the gap between 12th and 13th. We've still got no DNFs in this race. But yeah, Waffler has now caught up to the pack. I think the safety car slowed down a little bit just for the bottom two to catch up, but there you have it. The safety car is in this lap. Control set by Race Control. But Mac has a lot to do. He's had to warm those hards up. Very hard to warm them. Jonathan Cox weaving a little bit side by side with Mac, but I think that is Jonathan Cox already gone. No, now he has. So Mac has been caught out a little bit there by the Red Bull. He's used a bit of his ERS as well. You can see he's warming his tyres up. He knows now that Jack is going to defend for all his might for his teammate, but George has lost a bit of time to Ghostlope ahead, and Chartman now ahead of Spray. He's gone off the track. He will have to cede that position back to Spray and Pray, but Chartman will not give up P11 just for Moman, and Chartman thought of it on the inside, but Sir Waffler just getting caught up in the mix of things. George then has a 3-second time penalty. He's the first of the top 10 to get a penalty in this one. And yeah, there is Waffler around once again in this one. I'm not too sure what happened there, but Yeah, that's well, he's going to be so low down now. He's going to be so far away from the chasing pack, trying to each other. Yeah, Wongfi making up a few places now. Tom now ahead of George. Wongfi, he's on a medium set of tyres now, so he's going to do an aggressive two-stop, which helps a lot now that the safety car has come out. Waffler now with a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. And Mack is going to overtake Jonathan Cox here, and he's going to get ahead. GRL Mack and Go Slow. He's going side by side. Can Tom get in the mix here with Jack? No, he can't. He's backed out. Now Jack is going to send one on the inside here of Go Slow. A lot of contact being made between the two drivers, but they're staying side by side. They've made contact and both spun, and that's George getting caught up in it as well. This race has turned absolutely everywhere. Waffler is retired in the pit, and that now brings Tom into the top 3. Jonathan Cox now 4 tenths behind still. I'm surprised there's no safety car. And green flags waving in both first and middle sectors. Green flags waving in all sectors now. And Jonathan Cox with a 3-second time penalty. So that makes things way worse now for Red Bull in this circumstance. But now Spray Spray gets ahead of Ian. Ian will try and pounce back at the Ferrari. The two Ferrari powered guys. Oh, Chartman will banging very hard there with his tier 2 rival, one of his tier 2 rivals. But Chartman is getting ahead, but Beard is going to go side by side with his teammate here as he comes around the penultimate corner. Very nice move there. And yeah, I would have understand if the team game will have to be played, as Moman is now ahead of Ian. But Ian chasing back. The side by side here, who's going to be last on the brakes? It's going to be Moman, and he takes P9 for granted, and Ian will have to stay P10 for now. So this race has turned absolutely on its head. Jonathan losing lots of time to Mack, so the Red Bulls will have to play the team game at some point. The championship leader of Tom could spoil that McLaren party, and Red Bull could go on to win another race. But that contact has made a lot of dividends now to this race. I was surprised there was no safety car after that one. But now the gap between Jonathan Cox and Mack is now at least 1 second. But George is gone, and there's your second full course safety car. And now Tom has a real good chance of pouncing on GRL Mack. What a comeback drive this would be for Tom. I mean, it'd be a bit of luck as well after these 2 safety cars. But now we have 2 DNFs in this one. George and Waffler. Waffler was in the pits, George was on track due to collisions. But that will definitely end up in the stewards tonight. And now Jonathan Cox has boxed for a set of fresh mediums. And now Mack and Tom are now 1 and 2 for this one. It's game on. Panda now P3. The top 3 are 3 different teams. The top 4 are 4 different teams. The top 5 are 5 different teams. The top 6 are 6 different teams. It's really game on in this one. But Jack has gone into the box yet again. We have 3 people that have penalties in this one. Jack in the pits as well. Well, we've got to wait till the end of lap 14 for the safety car to come back in. No, it could be the end of this lap, but more than likely the end of lap 14. But this race has changed dramatically. Mack still on top. It was a pretty interesting fight between George, Go Slow and Mack in the first laps of this race. But now it's come down to Mack and Tom. Just 2 drivers to win this race. Maybe even Panda if he gets caught up, if Mack and Tom have a collision. And yeah, George has left the session. But we've got to wait for Chartman and Jack to catch up. I mean, the collision between Jack and Go Slow, bit risky. Yeah, I can understand. There's a lot of contact between Go Slow and Jack. There, a lot of contact. You could see there that Jack was so desperate just to get a move done, but that was just unneeded. We didn't need to see that. But Chartman and Wongfi have gone into the pits. Same as Jack. They've all gone back in. That's weird. And Jack is now back onto a set of mediums. Oh no, Jack was on the hards at first. Oh, I don't even have a clue, to be honest. Can't even remember what tyres people are on. But Wongfi on the mediums, Jack on the mediums, Chartman on the mediums. Chartman currently last out of all the drivers that are running in this race. But Beard has made up a few places as well from the start. Got pretty unlucky in qualifying after not getting pole position. Mac set a fantastic lap because of tracker evolution. So prioritising for these drivers the dry racing standards. Let's hope that Mac and Tom can have a good fight. I told you, end of lap 14, it would come in. But yeah, we'll see what happens. And yeah, we just gotta wait and see. But yeah, we just gotta wait now for Mac to get us back underway. And that'll be it for Mac and his stops for this race. Same with Tom. They're both on the hards. They can battle it out till the end. Strategies have been done. They've finished their strategies until another safety car comes out. But it is pretty likely in GRL at the moment. Anyway, Tom and Mac come around the penultimate corner. Mac needs a very good restart on Tom. But you can see Tom is so prepared. You can see now they're right behind one another as we come down the straight into turn one. Tom looks towards the inside. Tom doesn't want to go on the inside, and it is a bit too far back, and Panda keeps his position. Everyone keeps their positions. Oh, spray and pray. He's gone again at the same corner, well, the same exit of the corner, and he's now outside of the top 10. Wow, and now Tom is now ahead of Mac. I didn't even see that one coming, but he's ahead now, and Tom has just got to push toward the end to win this race. How quickly a race can change in Formula 1 and in GRL. Mac just needs to use all of his ERS down the straight, see if he's got any more in his tank. See if he's got any more pace in the tank. Anyway, he's got that slipstream. Just didn't work yet again. That safety car did not pay dividends for Mac whatsoever. Chartman with a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. I think that's his second 3-second. But you can see he's struggling for pace against Tom. You can see how quick Tom is in the corners. Well, in the straight, Tom is absolutely atrocious in the straight. Anyways, they come around the final corner to start lap 16. There are 14 laps to go here in Melbourne. And I think Tom has this one covered because he's just now flying. And now Wongfi gets ahead of Go Slow. Wow, and now Jack getting side by side. And Jack overtakes Go Slow. And Go Slow bumps his rear end a little bit. I can see the frustration that they caused when they collided a few laps ago. You can see the frustration there for Go Slow. Pretty nice move though from Jack this time. At least he didn't defend as bad as a couple of laps ago. And now Jonathan and Moment, they're going side by side. Jonathan takes P5, but he does have a penalty to his name, so that's not really going to pay too much onto his final race time, but he needs to keep it on the limit. If you want to keep your position, keep it on the limit. And Panda losing time to Mac losing time to Tom, sorry. But it is what it is, unfortunately. And now the gaps are pretty much spread out now. And now Wong Fei now getting ahead of Moman. DRS has been enabled this lap, but Moman's going to try and chase at the back here of Wong Fei. That he backs out of the thought. Try not to get too focused on it, but Moman gets himself a 3-second time penalty. But he's going to try and chase back here on Wong Fei. We'll ride on his onboard, and he decides not to send it. There's just physically no point. Oh, Mac. 3-second time penalty for Mac. Oh no. His chance of a race win are possibly down the drain now. And you can see Tom is pushing. He is pushing because he's on temper. He's flashing now. Tom is flashing. Mac still has 24% ERS. He's saving that ERS to the maximum at the moment. But Jonathan Cox and Beard going fighting at each other. But Jonathan Cox wins the battle. And he gets ahead Jack now. He's going to want to chase down Moman. You can see that little flick of slipstream. Jack goes round the outside. Nice move there from the McLaren. Absolutely tasty and delicious there from the McLaren. And he does indeed get ahead here of Moman, who performed actually in Portugal a few weeks back. And now that's Ghostlo going to do it through goes Hamilton there. But yeah, Moman made a little mistake. He's piling on the pressure after Jack made that awesome move. Ghostlo, he has another 3-second time penalty, I feel. But at the moment we'll look at the penalties, and Jonathan Cox does indeed get ahead as it goes side by side, Panda and Jonathan, and Panda gets pushed off the track, but Jonathan keeps the position. Panda without a penalty in this one. Beard now trying to chase Panda to the battle, but this is the main battle to keep our eyes on at the moment, because the nearly tyre bang there as they come wheel to wheel down the back straight into the chicane. Is Panda going to win the battle? Who's got that better touch of straight line speed? They're still side by side, and Panda goes a little bit wide because here comes Beard out of nowhere. And now Jonathan's going to be in a little bit of trouble here from Beard, because Beard had a lot of straight line speed. Panda loses 2 positions in the making, and that is it done for him at the moment. Now Beard is going to come around the final corner to get that DRS and just try and just get on Jonathan's rear, but it doesn't seem to be the case. You can see the difference between 13 lap old hards and 6 lap old mediums. You can see there's a big difference between the two, but now Tom is just running away with it at the moment. 5% ERS, meanwhile Mac at 21% ERS, both on 11 lap old hards. Mac with a 3-second time penalty, Tom with absolutely nothing to his name. And Panda's gone. We'll see what happened to him. Oh, he's just spun it on the exit, and there's a safety car, so that really helps Mac, and that will help Jonathan to a Red Bull 1-2. And now we have 3 DNFs in this Grand Prix. And Panda, who came back today, yeah, he's not finished tonight, so unfortunate to him. Anyway, welcome back, Panda. You've had a few good battles here tonight. Good luck next week anyway. But Mac now has a chance once again on Tom, and you can see there how much ERS between the two. 16%, 35%. So yeah. And Tom has boxed. Same with Mac. They're all coming in. That is interesting. Jack is going to carry on. And Jack is now your new race leader. So Jack is going to go to the end on 6-lap old mediums. Well, those 6-lap old mediums are actually going to be better. Tom comes out P2, Matt comes out P3, so Jack is the only position change here in this race. Jonathan Cox is now down into P4. Spray it back up into the top 10. Marshall outside of the top 10 by 1 place. Spray and pray with a 3-second time penalty under a safety car. Multiple warnings. That is definitely for exceeding track limits and corner cutting. I wouldn't say corner cutting, but at least exceeding track limits. I can see what the Williams and the Alpine of Wang Fei and Chartman are doing. They're going on to the softs, but can they last 9 laps? That is the main question. I really can't see that happening. They've got to make a really good comeback drive on those medium runners if they are going to win this race. Wang Fei has already won this season. He won in Belgium, so he won in Belgium last week. Oh no, that Belgium wasn't last week. It was the week before Wang Fei won. But anyway, Marshall has to catch up, but he's falling down a little bit. What's going on? He's going slow. Hello? Is that a fuel issue? Or is he just going slow on purpose? I think, yeah, he's gone a little bit slow on purpose, I think. But hopefully that shouldn't be a problem. Because it's only 1 lap and, yeah, it'll give people time. Anyway, Ian has boxed, so that is definitely for a fresh set of softs. You can see what people are going for, the two of Wang Fei and Chartman. But is he not only wasting a bit more time under the safety car? The drivers want to get going to race. Ian is wasting a lot more time. But yeah, it might pay off in the end anyway. And it's gone a little bit deep, so yeah, very easy to go deep after you exit the pit lane. 21. We are now in the 21st lap out of 29 here in Australia at the streets of Melbourne. So come on in, let's get a move on. Let's get the safety car in this lap. I don't understand why he's going so slow. I think he's trying to save his fuel, maybe. I think that's what he's trying to do, in all fairness. And there we have it, the confirmation of race control that the safety car is in this lap. So now Jack has got to release us across the finish line so we can go back to racing. No overtaking until the green flags, as you would have known by now. I'm sure all league racers know when you should overtake. It's pretty plain and simple. Anyway then, Jack. Are we going to get a new race winner here in GRL this season? Jack then, it's going to come round the final corner. When will we start? That is the main question. And Jack gets us underway, but Tom does not get caught out by it whatsoever, because he's still 2 tenths behind the McLaren as we head into turn 1. And you can see the better run that Tom gets out of the corner. And now Jack is going to try and defend toward the inside. Tom goes round the outside here of Jack. You can see now it goes side by side, wheel to wheel. And now it's McLaren against Red Bull. And the McLaren gets the job done, but the other Red Bull gets the job done on the other McLaren. So this is all changing so quickly. What a race this is turning out to be. But now Tom is going to get that extra straight line speed because he's using that ERS to his advantage. Wongfi and Chartman, they're absolutely blasting down here up the field. But Tom just cannot get ahead of Jack, which is such an important thing to do because Tom wants to increase his championship lead by at least 100 points at the end of this race. But Tom's going to go on the inside here of Jack. They go side by side now into the next slingshot. It's a three-way battle for P. And now Jack tries to hold on to the position, but Tom and Jack still going side by side. Tom gets up into P1. Can Jonathan go round the outside here to make it a Red Bull 1-2? They've made contact. Jack is in the wall. And is that another safety car? Jack has binned it, I think, because Jonathan and Jack, they made contact. But surely now that is the Tom race win that we've all wanted, that we've all been waiting for. Well, not all been. Tom won at his own Grand Prix last weekend, but yeah, Wongfi and Chartman making up a few places on those fresh softs, those 3-lap-old fresh softs. And I think someone else has binned it actually. Yes, it's Moment. I'm surprised there's still no safety car at this point. And there we have it. It's a VSC. We have a virtual safety car. 2 VSCs, 3 full-course safety cars. Hopefully that's the last of the lot. But Jack without a front wing is such a shame. He's done so well. But his collision with Ghostlow will go into the steward's notes at the end of this race. So he's not only ruined it for himself, but the team as well. Because Mac now needs to hold up. Well, he needs to overtake Jonathan. And now green flags go out once again. Mac now trying to think of a move on Jonathan. Let's have a look at the penalties. Mac has 6 seconds. Jonathan has 3 seconds. That's not going to help Mac at all because he's going to lose all those positions. Our pole sitter for tonight might not even be on the podium. That's how dramatic this race has gone. But Chartman now is going to try and configure something. Is he going to go on the inside? No, he thought about it, but backed out. And I can understand why he's done that. But now Wongfi is going to chase Mac onto a podium position, even on the track. Try and overtake him for good measure. Such a shame for Jack, really. He could have gone for a race win here today. But it had to be spoiled by Red Bull. But Wongfi then is going to try and chase GRL Mac. You can see how much he's gaining and gaining because he's in that slipstream. Now, anyway, he's in the slipstream, but it's just not paying off because Mac also has the DRS. And Moment is out. Is that a safety car? It is. It's a full course safety car. Once again. Our 4th safety car. 3rd or 4th, I can't even count at the moment. That's how dramatic this race has gone. Mac has dived into the pit lane. Obviously you can't serve 5 seconds because you can't have a 1 second time penalty in F1. So there is a lot of people in the box. McLaren's just run over the Alpine pit crew. Rest in peace. But yeah, that is going to make Red Bull 1 and 2. Wongfi has a really good chance of winning this race. Really good chance. And yeah, this is going to be a tough challenge for Wongfi because he's got to get past 2 Red Bulls that are 1 and 2 at the moment. So Jack then might have gone for the fastest lap in this one, but yeah, and now he'll gain some positions actually because he's now like gonna catch up to the pack once again. And now he's 22 seconds behind, and the whole pack has now caught up to one another. So we're just waiting on for Jack to catch up, and we've only got 10 runners remaining in this race. We had 14 drivers turn up here tonight, and we've only got 10 remaining. So just gotta wait for Jack to catch up. Mac, our pole sitter, has lost a load of positions today. But now we can go for 3 laps worth of racing. Everyone is more likely on the softs. Someone's done 4 stops today, which is Wongfei and Beard. But the Red Bulls, they're not on the softs. Beard and Spray, they're not on the softs either. So that's interesting. And Jack has gone into the pit lane once again. So there's a bit of time wasting there for the McLaren. And we've just got away on him. Right then, we have the safety car coming in this lap then, because Jack has finally caught up to the pack. So we are just waiting on him. So and anyway. And Tom has just got to get away well, and we're going to have 2 laps, well 3 laps worth of racing until the checkered flag. Nothing like Abu Dhabi 2021, and Tom gets underway once again. I think Spray and Pray is now going to try and go on the outside, but there's Mac actually going wheel to wheel with Spray. Unbelievable stuff. But then Charman trying to go on the inside or outside even, and Charman gets a big snap of oversteer. Jack then, he's now riding himself up into P9, and look at this, it's an absolute carnage at the moment in the midfield. And oh, Charman, no, he spun. Oh, go slow, he's also gone by the McLaren. Once again. This is race and a half, but half of these reports are going into the stewards here tonight. That's all we can say. Wongfei then, he's going to try and chase down that Red Bull to stop that Red Bull 1-2 from happening, and the first 1-2 of the season. We haven't had a front row lockout yet, I'm not sure. Well, I'm pretty sure we haven't had a front row lockout yet between any of the drivers, well, between any of the teams, but we have not either had a 1-2 here in a race as well. So yeah, just a couple of laps. We have the gap to the leader actually, or second. Oh wow. Okay, if Tom gets 6 seconds now, Jack will win this race. But it's not likely. It's really not likely. Which is unfortunate to say the least, really. But he's losing so much time to his teammate, which is not even going to help at all. but it is what it is. Unfortunately, have to deal with it at times. And Jack, yeah, he's not going to win the race now. It's unfortunate. He would have got at least a podium here tonight, but I think he'll get P5 anyway because his teammate getting that many penalties himself. But Mac is now going to get ahead here because I think Beard had spun, and now Jack's going to send it on the inside. Wow, very good move there from the McLaren, and he gets himself up into P5 while Mac is now P4 in this race. And DRS has been enabled. Chartman is a spinner. He's gone yet again. Ghostlow will get extra points. Ghostlow has not had any luck getting extra points. But this man... Oh, sorry. But this man has conquered every aspect of this race. You can see how much is up on the fuel. Them safety cars have not helped him with the fuel, but he's still a quick guy at the end of the day. And now he's just got he's just got basically one sector to go, and he is a winner in Australia. He is conquering every race this season, every single race. But I think that Red Bull 1-2 is going to be spoiled here, because Wongfi is going to go on the inside here of the Red Bull, and now the Red Bull 1-2 is going to go. Oh, Mac has absolutely confuffled it there, but this man has conquered every aspect here in Melbourne, and he's going to come round the final corner. Tom Go Prof wins the Australian Grand Prix in round 9. Wongfi takes home P2, Jonathan P3, Jack actually P3, and Jack gets his hope of a podium, and the Red Bull 1-2 is yet to come. A 1-2 from any team is yet to come. Ghostlow will get 3 points in the bag. He's not had a good last 2 Grand Prix in the last 2 weeks, but he will take 3 extra points home with him. And that is it then for the Australian Grand Prix in both tiers 2 and 1 for this week on Saturday. And Jack, yeah, I wouldn't say he deserves driver of the day, not for me, but we'll forget the podium celebrations. First we've got to do our driver of the day, and then we'll go down the grid rundown. So my driver of the day, it'll have to go to Wongfi, actually. He cut through the pack pretty nicely. Tom, I'd say he got through a bit easily there, but Tom extends his championship lead then, but he's not going to get 100 points ahead of Wongfi, not tonight anyway. So here is the grid rundown anyway. So P1 then is your championship leader, Tom Go Prof in the Red Bull. Started P9, done 2 stops in this race. And the rest of the podium is Wongfi and Jack, Williams and McLaren. They started P11 and 13. They both done 4 stops. Jonathan Coxen, he finished P4 in the Red Bull. There could have been a Red Bull 1-2 here tonight, but a last lap overtake from Wongfi spoiled everything for Red Bull, and Williams and Wongfi keeps Tom away from 100 points clear at the top of the championship. P5 then, Beard, a new lad in this one. Marshall P6, Spraying Parade P7. Mac, our pole sitter here for tonight, P8. He got unfortunate with the safety cars. Go Slow, P9. Chartman, he would have got driver of the day if he carried on and didn't get P10, but he finishes P10. Just Moment, Panda, George and Waffler, P11, 12, 13 and 14, they all didn't finish. So pretty interesting Grand Prix then from all aspects, but now tonight is it's now time to say goodnight to each and every one of you. So yeah, pretty interesting Grand Prix, pretty fun, but what we have to say goodbye to is now Melbourne, and we'll be here next time for Jeddah, and Curly will be streaming Tier 1 I don't know about me on tier 2. I was meant to do tier 2 tonight. But anyway, yeah, that is it from us at Global Racing Network or Global Racing League. And we'll see you next week at the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix.